Hi everyone, welcome back to the next video of the series React Native Core Component, and in today's video we are going to break down three essential components of React Native. First is button, second is touchable opacity, and third is pressable. So let's start with the simplest one, the button component. See, button component is useful when you want to trigger a very quick action with a very simple and basic styling. But if you want a full custom design button, then such kind of requirements is not achieved by using this button component. Using button component, you can simply set its color, you can set a title for that button, and you can use its on press property if you want to perform any action by using this button. So yes, not much style property or more interactive properties is not offered by this button component. Now let's implement this button in our project. So first thing is, let's import button from React Native. After that, I am using this button component just below the view. So here you can add any title. Let's say title is button, and in on press I am just adding alert. Title is button pressed. So let's run this code. To run this code on emulator, you have to run command yarn iOS. Sorry, I am running this project on simulator, not emulator. This is the iPhone 15 Plus simulator. This is the design that we have created in our previous video. Let's save this file and let's check the design on simulator. So this is the button with the default color. You can set this button color, let's say white. So the text color is now white. But if you want to add few more styles to this particular button, like the background color or some padding or margin or some border radius, then you can see that we get an error like this property style does not exist on type of this component button. So we can't, add more style on this button component. There are few limitations of this button component. That's why we are not using more this component in our project. This component is good for quick actions. We can't do more styling to this component. Also, in this component, you can use disable properties to disable the button. But for if you want to do that, then you need a state variable to manage all this kind of stuff. So in short, this component is good for the quick actions, but not ideal for custom designs. So the next is touchable opacity. See, touchable opacity component is useful when we want to wrap any UI element and we want to make that element touchable. So as we all know that text, image and view and many other component has no pressable abilities. But if we want to make them touchable, then we can wrap these elements inside, this touchable opacity and make them pressable. For example, let's take a touchable opacity in our project. Let's import touchable opacity from React Native. I am using this touchable opacity just below this button. Let's say touchable opacity. And now, yes, we are going to use its on press. Again, inside this on press, I'm using alert. Close this touchable opacity. I am using text component inside this touchable opacity because I want to make this text component pressable. So let's save this. Here you can see there is a touchable opacity button, but we can style this touchable opacity with a background red. Okay, let's change its background color. Let's just say its background color is white. And padding, let's set 16. Border radius 5. Margin top, okay, let's say it's 16. And let's set some font size to this text. Color is black, which is fine. Font weight is, let's say it's 500, and font size is 16, which is good. Now let's save his changes. And this is the button. This is the button, but yes, we are using a touchable opacity for achieving such kind of styles. So you can add any styling here. If you can increase the border radius from 5 to 8. When you tap on this touchable opacity, you can see a fade effect. So touchable opacity is providing a very nice fade effect to the users. But remember, this touchable opacity components only provide fade effect. Not much interactive properties is provided by this component. But yes, you can completely style this component as your requirement or as per client requirement. So this is good for custom designing. If you want to design your button as per your requirement, then you can definitely use this touchable opacity. Finally, we have pressable component, and pressable component is more flexible and more powerful if we compare with these two. So pressable component is providing very advanced UI interactions. Also, it supports several useful events. So these useful events are on press in, on press out, and on long press. After on press in, if user lift up his finger, then on press out will trigger. And if any user, tap button more than 500 millisecond, which is almost 0.5 seconds, then on long press button trigger. And once again, when user lift up his finger, then on press out function will call. So these three are actually very useful and very important interactive properties which is provided by a pressable component. And you also can wrap any UI element inside this pressable component if you want to make them pressable. See, these three touch events is also provided by touchable opacity, but yes, dynamic based styling on the press state is only offered by this pressable component. So pressable can be very nice go-to option for the developers if you want full flexibility and control on your button. Now let's jump into its implementation. So first thing is import this pressable component from React Native. Okay, I'm using this pressable just below the touchable opacity. Press tab. Let's close this pressable component. Okay. Here I am using pressable component, and also again I am using alert inside its on press props. Here I am applying few styling to this pressable. For example, its background color is white, applying some padding, some border radius. There is margin top also. And inside this pressable, I am wrapping text component. Text component has few styles like its color is black, few font weight and font size is also there, and there is a text to this text component. So let's save this changes, and here you can see this pressable button with an alert. So this is what that touchable opacity is also providing to us. But here inside this pressable component, but in pressable you can change the style dynamically using this pressed variable. So using this pressed, whenever user tap this pressable button, then you can change its background color or anything as per your requirement. But right now I am changing background color. When I tap this button, its color would be red, and otherwise its color is white. So let's tap. So on the button tab, you can see dynamically its background color get changed from white to red. Okay, now just cut down these inline styling and paste inside the style sheet dot create matter. Let's say it's touchable button styles dot touchable button. Open this, and here after comma touchable button, paste this inline inline styling. Let's save it. Also cut down this inline styling here. Let's say styles dot touchable button text. Write down here touchable button text. Again cut down this inline styling. Okay, we need to add array here because here we have two styling. One is based on pressed and second is by the default style. So let's add array here. Let's take pressable button and just cut these styles and paste here. So yes, our all inline styling is now removed and we have pasted all these inline styling under style sheet dot create method. So there is one more left. Cut down this. We say styles dot it would be pressable button text. Remove this comma. And just save this. So here we are changing background color using pressed in pressable component, but you can build highly interactive buttons using pressable component as per client requirements. So if you want to check the difference between touchable opacity and pressable, then you can pause this video here for 1 minute and you can check the screenshot which is provided here. So if you have any doubt, then do let me know in the comment section. And if you found this video helpful, then like this video. And if you are new, then subscribe this channel. And thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one. Thank you.